Since Woody left the executive producer position, we've been trying to find a replacement, and I've been heading up that process.
I mean, yes, ESPN did fire me, but I mean, how's this going?
Well, my idea is I think that we need more Panthers talk on the show. We're not talking about the Panthers enough.
A woman could never be the executive producer of the Dan LeBatard Show, Stugotz.
This is to replace you.
I know, I just love a good interview.
Get out.
I am the best person for the job. And you know it.
It hasn't been going well, to say the least.
Start up.
Am I doing it?
It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes.
What
No
happened
one
there?
in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Chris Cody, who's in charge,
He
because
was so close. So close to a
Chris
perfect
Cody,
game.
I don't think he's ever sat in that chair before. All I saw was him play the wrong sound and also say, "Am I starting us here?"
What?
At least we're not live. We're having fun.
What are we doing here?
We're doing weekend observation.
Okay.
That's why the music is still playing.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lights. 96 calories available for delivery. Dan, once upon a time, they were a major part of the college basketball landscape, winning 4 national championships since 1999. Tate George, Donyell Marshall, Jim Calhoun, Ray Allen, Richard Hamilton, Kevin Ollie, and of course, Jake Voskuhl. They went away for a while,
They did.
but after blowing out Gonzaga and advancing to their first Final Four since 2014, Dan,
Yep.
make no mistake about it.
Favorite.
The Yukon Huskies. What happened there? They are back. I'm excited about the Huskies. Are you?
No.
Speaking of back, on Thursday, the fastest game in the world returns. Baseball.
Yes.
It's back.
Yep.
Also, speaking of back, LeBron James.
That's right.
Just in time.
That's right. After seeing the LeBron James of foot specialist and having the fastest recovery, according to him, ever, according to doctors.
Yep. Dan, you know what the M in Dusty May stands for?
Miracle?
March.
Oh, yeah. Even better.
Come on.
Find for me before the end of the show today, please, who his family had in that bracket.
Speaking of finding things, has
Did you
anyone found Mercedes Lewis yet? Find them.
Did you
The missing piece.
need an answer before we get out of here
I
today?
texted FAUPR. It's the weirdest text I've ever sent. Hey, it's Billy from the Dan LeBatard Show. Weird question. When Coach was on today, we asked when his family eliminated FAU. Any chance he can get us that answer today before the show's over?
Is there any reason we don't use phones anymore? Just call them. Call them. Pick up.
It's embarrassing.
Talk to a human being.
It's a busy time.
So text them.
Yep. Gonzaga.
They're not even going to understand that because you didn't say brackets. They're not even going to understand the text.
To be honest with you, it was a lot longer, but I'm reading on air, which is always dangerous. So I'm like, let me just get to the point
so
here.
tough reading
no
on
one's going to double check me, but double check.
Gonzaga. Do it in the tourney. Just trying to make sure everyone is as prepared as I am for opening day on Thursday. Jan Gomes is a Cub. So is Eric Hosmer.
This will be fun. Yes.
Haas.
We're going to discuss. We're going to discover all sorts of baseball players in new uniforms.
Adam Sandler won the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Did I miss something on Twain?
The H in humor is one of the things you missed there.
But how about Twain? Did you know he was like a laugh a minute? I mean,
put it on the poll, Juju. Was Mark Twain a laugh a minute? It's the best award in comedy, I think.
But why? I'm asking. Did I miss something on Twain?
Mark Twain did write funny things.
Okay, if you say so. American Airlines pilot. I don't know what happened to me there.
Reading.
Oof. Rough one. American Airlines pilot trying to sell me on a credit card that gives me 50,000 bonus miles with a personal story of his dad getting the card, buying a pack of cigarettes, and getting a free round trip to Hawaii. Pilot, do me a favor. Fly the plane. Heaters. The Big Island.
Aviator MasterCard?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't need my pilot to be a salesperson or a storyteller.
He was all in.
Don't need your parents' story.
Oh, my God. Mark Few. Forget about advancing. Congratulations on surviving. He made it. Justin Turner, Red Sox. How about that? That is amazing. Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. When you land, you are halfway to your destination. Fix it. Dan, I've been on the tarmac longer than I've been in the air.
That airport is so giant.
It's ridiculous. And it drives over a bridge. Have you seen that? You're like driving down the street and a plane comes over you on a bridge. Place is crazy. You got pilots selling you credit cards. Anyway. Croissant flakes. Easily in my top 5 foods.
What? Wait a minute. What?
Croissants. A croissant.
Okay.
A nice little croissant.
Okay. Sorry. You're
say?
beginning to slur.
Well, listen, I told you right around now what happened. It's happening. Late night. March. Anyway, top 5 foods that I like that come with a minor consequence.
I get what you mean now. The croissant flakes. I get them on the top when you crush them.
If it's too flaky, you get it all over your pants, everywhere. Yeah, but it's delicious.
Was it a confusing premise for you?
No, because I didn't understand what he said at the beginning. I was like,
croissant is number 5.
Yes, of course.
Number 4, Cool Ranch Doritos. Bad breath for days.
Put it on the poll, Juju. Do Cool Ranch Doritos give you bad breath for days? Also, does Roy have bad breath?
No.
Number 3, ice cream. There you go, Chris. Shits the entire next day.
You're lactose intolerant?
Dan, I've told you before. I'll tell you again. It's not ice cream unless I'm shitting the entire next day.
Put it on the poll, Juju. Is it not ice cream unless you're pooping the entire next day?
Number 2, Cheetos. Orange fingers. And number 1, funnel cake. Get the sugar all over the pants, you know? It's delicious, though.
The powdered donuts also, or beignets are tough there.
Yep. Mike Moustakis. Colorado Rocky.
Really?
Moose. Jarring.
It is jarring.
Boston Bruins. Just so we're clear, your historic season means nothing if you don't hoist the cup. The Bees. Brandon Belt. Dan.
No.
Get ready.
No.
Get ready.
No, he's got to be with the Giants.
He's a Blue Jay.
No. What? No.
Trying to get you ready.
He's been with the Giants for 400 years.
Yeah. Don't know about you, Dan, but I'm not going to rest until Jim Larinaga gets his much-deserved statue in whatever building the Hurricanes play in. He deserves it, and I'm not going to rest until he gets one. Same way I haven't rested since Dwayne Wade hasn't got one. How about that?
No, you said you wouldn't rest if he went to Cleveland in making sure he never got one in Miami.
Does he have one?
He does not.
I got UD that section this weekend.
We will ask Larinaga whether he deserves a statue in about 20 minutes.
Isaiah Wong, odd name. Top 5 odd names in sports history. I'm just pointing out odd names. That's all. I don't know what you're doing. You're making faces. You're doing this, that with your hands. I'm just pointing out odd names. Isaiah Wong, number 5. Number 4, Tariq Cohen. Number 3, Anthony Schwartz.
Good, there's 5 of these.
Number 2, Dean Windass. Good one. Number 1, Khalil Green.
No, Dick Trickle.
Oh, I forgot.
Milton
Or
Bradley.
Dick Paul. Yeah.
Real upset.
Watch out for the Warriors. Joey Gallo is a Twinkie. The Twinkie, Dad. Last week I told you the Panthers signed Adam Thielen.
When did Joey Gallo become a Minnesota Twin?
Off season, I presume. And this week, I'm telling you, they signed DJ Shark. What did I tell you, Dan? Things are starting to happen in Carolina. Kansas State, Michigan State, one for the ages. I get goosebumps when Bill Raftery starts talking about someone's ticker. Raft. By the way.
It's Chark, by the way. He's not an animal.
Whatever. If Raft says you have a ticker, you know what you have? A ticker. Dan.
I don't even. What does that mean?
He talks about people when they have
Never
heart.
mind.
He says they have a ticker.
I know. I understand.
The kiss.
Yeah.
Dan, you know what Jim Spanarkel is?
An unusual name.
He is college basketball. He's a lifer.
Put it on the poll, Juju. Is Jim Spanarkel college basketball?
Ben DiNucci did what Ben DiNucci does. FAU has kind of blown up the experienced guard play theory. They have no experience. Yet here they are 2 games away from a natty. Lefty jumpers just look better. FAU men's basketball is one of the great mysteries in the history of sports. FAU motto, defend paradise. If your definition of paradise is a bunch of gated communities and a cheesecake factory, then I guess FAU is indeed paradise. Going to be interesting to hear how Dusty May explains his way around leaving paradise. Dan, you know what the F in FAU stands for?
I do not.
Final Four. Did someone inform the 4 kids from Harlem on Kansas State that the Manhattan they were going to wasn't right up the road? It was in Kansas? Something to ponder.
They tricked them.
Yeah. Kansas State coach Jerome Tang. At least you didn't make it about yourself. Jose Abreu is an Astro. Dan, you know what the J in Jordan Miller stands for?
I do not.
Jim Nance's tie. If the Canes win the national championship, the rings should have John Ruiz's face on it.
Put it on the poll, Juju. If the Canes win the national championship, should the rings have John Ruiz's face on it?
A confused nation watching FAU take on the University of Miami a week from today.
Very low ratings on that game.
For all the marbles, collision course. The Bruins have 119 points. What the hell?
Yeah.
Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dan, those are the weekend observations.
FAU as well. Stugotz, proud FAU allegiance guy. You've been pronouncing Glades Road incorrectly. You've been making it, I don't know which it is, Glades Boulevard, but you've been making Glades Road.
Right. It's Glad Road these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Glad Road.
Yes, hit him with the. You got to move fast in that executive producer role, Chris Cody. You got to hit him with the loser James Show sound.
No, I don't want to do it.
That was a good one. It should get the Hakeem Nicks laugh.
No doubt.
It should not. It
certainly
doesn't
should.
deserve it.
Glad Road.
There's a timing issue here with our new executive producer. He doesn't know how to find it. Billy coming from the back row to help.
Get off my plane.
Okay, there it is.
Nailed it.
Chris Cody trying very hard to win the executive producer position. The University of Miami.
It's a boulevard, huh?
basketball team. I don't know whether it's a boulevard or a road. Whatever it is, you've been getting it wrong.
It's a road.
It's near you.
Right.
You drive past it every day.
I don't drive past it every day. It's just short of where I live, but I thought it was Glades Road. I mean,
It is.
Oh,
Unless there's
I
been
think
a
you
promotion.
you said Boulevard a couple times.
my bad.
Tomato, tomato.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy, just cleaning up something from yesterday.
Jabba? Oh.
No, we'll get to Jabba in a second. When 37 brackets of 20 million correctly identify the final four,
Yeah.
that's less than 2 in a million. The math of that is 37 into 40.
Yeah. What?
That if I tell you that 20 million have been in the bracket,
Yeah.
how do I get to 2 of 1 million? How do I get to 2? If I multiply 2
1 + 1, 2.
by 20,
20.
I get to almost 40, and I get to that it's 2 in almost a million.
So what did I say? I said 140 million or something, right? Here's the thing about those numbers. By the way, this is what I've learned in the world of sports, and I think that you guys can attest to this. You can make up whatever stat you want to prove your point for any situation. You know what I mean? There's always a number. That's the thing about numbers. You can play with them however you want. And here's the thing about 37 out of 20 million or whatever the number is, right? We're just assuming that everybody that did a bracket signed up at ESPN.com, which is absolutely not how it works. So there's no way of knowing how many people
Isn't that just
actually...
ESPN brackets? I thought that the 20 million was just ESPN. I assumed that there were more brackets than that they were just going from their batch, no?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. People do hand brackets everywhere. That's what I do. I like the handwritten bracket. I don't know. Yes, I do. I absolutely do.
When was the last time you did a handwritten bracket?
Last week or 2 weeks
There's
ago.
something going on with these two, Dan.
Where is it?
There's something going on with
No,
Tony
I don't
and
like
Billy.
Billy today.
Yeah.
Back
you
when
don't
I did brackets, they were always handwritten.
Yeah.
You don't like Billy in general. Regardless, I don't know what's happening with Tony and Billy. The Jabba Chamberlain podcast, what's happening with that?
Well, that's the question. So, we've had multiple meetings where it's like, hey, what do we do? How do we make this next? And like Stugotz will be in this meeting. He's like, oh yeah, buddy, we'll call you next week, whatever, right? And then we want to branch out to God Bless Baseball. But baseball season starts. We missed the WBC. I don't know what we tell Jabba at this point, because Jabba is a fan of the show, the regular show. He listens to the show. He'll like text us regularly about things that happen on the show. It's really flattering and kind of weird, honestly, that like Jabba Chamberlain has become like tight with us.
Jabba's the reason we had Eli Manning on. He's the reason we had, I believe, Matt Rule on. These are his friends. Like, we'd like to do a baseball show with Jabba. We're just, we're trying to get there, Dan.
Billy,
He's been doing a great job for us for free up until this point, but that's kind of where like what do we do? That's where we do like how do we
Chris,
do?
it's over there. He's got to produce his own segment by finding either the Hakeem. For the love of God!
So that's the thing is I don't know what we do here. Like how do we? Because I can't have Jabba do a baseball podcast for free for you, right? So what do we tell
This is
him?
what I sense on you, though. This is the undercurrent, and you tell me you tell me if I'm wrong.
You can blame me.
How do you know?
We've been doing this for a while.
Well, I just want to know what Stugotz has promised Jabba. Like, I'm scared.
Nothing.
Are you?
He's been good about not
I've learned my lesson.
directly making promises while not also like he'll just leave the door open, which is good. But at some point, baseball season starts, and what do we tell Jabba? And then we were all excited, and we were talking like, well, what would we do? How do we do it? Because if we did a God Bless Baseball, we would probably like have it mirror God Bless Football, right? Like, we'd have like different segments with different people. Someone actually suggested to us, which would have been funny, is to do God Bless Baseball not with Jabba, with a random football player, like from like a backup like quarterback from years ago, and that's how we should do God Bless Baseball.
Jabba was on God Bless Football, so that would make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Ice him out. Ice out Jabba.
Well, we can't do it to Jabba, but we also like in the meetings that he was talking to us about. He wanted to talk about like Nebraska college baseball, and we're like, well, I don't know what we do about that.
You got to do it with a guy who played football but had a chance to play baseball, like Danny Cannell, a guy like that. Not that I want it to be Danny Cannell.
Sounds like you just want to do a podcast with Danny Cannell now.
Got my top 5 jerseys you can wear.
I'll allow it.
Right? Okay, here we go. Thanks, EP.
Great point you got there.
Number 5. Basketball jersey.
Get off my plane.
My bad.
The basketball jersey, as we've noted, you have to be in shape. You gotta have some cool tattoos on your arms.
For me, this is the worst.
It's hard. Yeah, it's just hard to wear. It's a hard to wear jersey. Most people wear it with a T-shirt underneath. That doesn't really look great either. It just doesn't look good.
Is there anything worse than over the button down? The jersey over the button down.
Wall Street,
You're not
bro.
getting drafted? What are you doing?
No, that's the Wall Street, bro.
No, it happens in Miami too.
They're all Wall Street bros that flew down to Miami.
I think Dan did it once.
Dan, did you do that?
I wasn't listening to you.
That's a fun. Oh, no, that's not.
That's a yes.
What's the? Hold on.
That's
Come
fine.
on, Dominique. It's
Proceed.
disrespectful. It's
Proceed.
disrespectful. I can't enforce.
I've told you the story. The only time I've thrown up on a plane in like the last 25 years was watching the show.
When he tried to eat the
paper.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Threw up, man.
I can't find him. What is the penalty?
can
I
find
can't.
me?
He's disrespecting the rules. I love having him around. He's insightful.
Send him to the DMV.
He's got wide range.
He does have range. It's very
Yeah,
impressive.
between smart and fart. Yes, he's great that way.
Here's the funny part, Dan. When you send him to the DMV, he just goes home.
No, I got no jurisdiction. This is what's
DC,
happened.
Maryland, Virginia,
no, but
guys,
you know-
I got
No, let me explain to you what happened. This is what happened. It's annoying because what's happened is the cutthroat guy who gets to the top of football in Harvard Business School because he's better at most things than everybody else got into the media game and learned very quickly, oh, God, this is so much fun and different than anything that I have ever done. And now he's a monster is the problem. He is too outspoken. He's arrogant. He steamrolls people on television.
Howard Bryant. I'm great at everything, but I see Howard Bryant, and I'm like, most things I look at people like, I could do this better than you, no matter what it is. Most things that are out there, I'm like, yeah, I could do that better than you.
But he couldn't play corner.
Fair, but I think it's about admiring
Both of them.
He tore both hamstrings getting out of bed. Yes. We laughed at it.
Shout out to Juju.
We laughed at it the exact same way.
It was supposed to be a Howard Bryant like compliment, and you guys ruined it.
But I mean, no, it's all this group knows about Howard Bryant.
It's gonna be so like he writes books.
They don't know his journalistic credentials, and Howard Bryant. They know him, the guy who tore two hamstrings getting out of bed. Sports writer.
He is the one person that I look at what they do, and I both admire it and accept that I couldn't do it. Everyone else is like, yeah, even if I admire you, I'm like, man, give me a couple weeks. I'll figure that shit out. Give me a couple weeks in a book, some experience. I'll beat you at your own game.
Number 4.
Jerseys.
Number 4, the football jersey.
All right, good job, Chris. Yeah.
Right
A little
sound.
slow there.
A little slow, yeah. No, football jersey, you can wear it in, like, obviously going to the game, you look fine.
Nah.
Out and about going grocery shopping, it becomes a little cumbersome. Also,
It fits weird.
It fits weird. Also, here's another problem, and because there's a big gap between the bottom 2 and the top 3. And the huge gap is basketball and football, you have to wear someone's jersey.
Yeah.
You got to have someone's name and someone's number on it. I have one football jersey that I own. It is a Giants authentic Plexico Burrs jersey. Bought like legit 2 weeks before he shot himself.
Oh.
So it's like at the time, I'm like,
That's
oh, yeah.
funny, but all of it's fun. That's a funny jersey to wear as your symbol. You should still wear that. The guy who shot himself.
I was assuming
admired
that
when-
you bought it the day he shot himself. I thought it was like a bit.
Nope. Bought it. Bought it and felt like, oh, yeah. Like, it was on sale, too. I was like, oh, I got this one.
You know what you need to do is like anticipate people's mistakes, because as soon as someone does something dumb, you can't buy their number with a name on the back. We need to go through rosters and find out who we think is going to do something dumb.
Forgive me, guys. We have gotten old. Thank you, Roy. Roy whispered in my ear because he too wants to be executive producer. Dan, explain the story. And you're telling a Plaxico Burress story, and I don't think everybody in that room knows that Plaxico Burress.
Yes, we all know the Plaxico Burress story.
She knows.
How young do you think? I'm not like 16.
I'm not talking to you. I was talking to Tony and Jeremy.
No, come on, Dan. Don't do
older
that.
than I am.
That's the NFL. Come on. What do you want me to do?
Well, Roy, you just told me.
He meant for the listeners.
Jeremy, for
I tried
whatever
to
reason,
say
was like,
that,
hey,
you know-
somebody else doesn't know. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I just thought we're talking about a guy shooting
Jeremy
himself.
pulled the I know what we're talking about.
Are you trying to EP the show,
but
Jeremy?
Jess doesn't
Well,
know
this is now you see behind the scenes.
Shadow EP.
Jeremy,
Did Jeremy just do
not
something?
Shadow EP. Jeremy also wants to be considered for the executive producer position, and he
Gonna
wants
need that
to.
funneled through me,
He wants
boys.
to snake. He wants to snake
I
his
already
way
took
up
you down
here.
as top white guy, so.
Whoa!
Yeah.
He did. Jeremy's white. Look, I can't compete with this kid.
What are you going to do?
Oh, that's one thing. That's one thing you can't compete with.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
can never be as white as Jeremy.
Yeah.
You can never be as
Try
white
it.
as Jeremy.
Give me a week.
What book are you gonna read?
Hey,
Harry Potter?
Oh yeah, let's go. Yeah.
hey. Just give me a week. The first season of Friends,
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
on that ass, Jeremy.
Yes.
I'm on
Yes.
that ass.
Winner.
That
oral
very
history.
flat,
My middle
flat,
name is
pale
Chandler.
ass. I'm on it.
My middle name is Chandler.
Someone
man.
told
Yeah.
me life
Bishops
was
are
gonna
nine.
be this
Come on,
way.
Dominique. I care about you.
Why
You see how they clapped off rhythm? You can never do that, Dominique.
play
You
white
can never
guy.
compete
Okay.
with that.
I could. I concede.
What do you want?
I concede. You have it. I cannot bear to oppress people nearly as aggressively and globally as white guys. White. See, I even made that cool.
Too much soul.
Go sit in the penalty box. 2 minutes. You got to respect that.
Get the fuck out of here. I ain't no penalty box. You think I got no penalty box? I'm not going to pay no fines. Not going to no penalty box. Not going to anywhere. Sit where I want to sit. Talking the microphone upside down is my damn show. Change the name of this shit to Fox and Friends.
Well, I think that's taken.
Take it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, football jerseys fit weird.
Number 3. Number 3, the hockey jersey. I actually think the hockey jersey is very wearable. It's just because you guys live in Florida and it's warm all the time. But if you live somewhere where it gets cold, it's a nice little sweater.
Is the grocery store always the place where you like?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So when I'm imagining these, I should always be imagining someone pushing a cart to a grocery store. Okay.
Yep. Maybe picking up like a cantaloupe and knocking on it. To
Yeah,
hear, you know?
get a little
Hoodie
knock.
under the hockey jersey.
Hoodie under the hockey jersey is a great look.
Snoop Dogg.
But you got to get like a thinner hoodie because then it gets too thick, too many layers. But
That is a good look. That is a good
Absolutely.
I like in '93. I remember I saw Snoop Dogg do it immediately. Went and put a hoodie under a jersey.
Was it a
immediately.
Penguins jersey?
It had to be a Penguins jersey or a Sharks jersey.
I think honestly, I think it was like a Charlotte Hornets hockey jersey.
Man, the Hornets used to have a great merch department, man. Let me just say that right now. As an aside.
I mean, I think
That starter
Hornets-
jacket,
I
the
think-
starter jacket that Mac had was fire.
A Hornets hockey jersey is not a great.
I'm telling
Shit,
you.
I
I'm
think-
telling you.
Don't make me go find a photo from '93.
Their owner must not know anything about sports merchandise.
Well, I only put them on some hockey jerseys. I like that. I think that is a good idea.
That's the Michael Jordan voice.
Yeah, that's not the owner I was talking about. But the hockey jersey does not need to have a name and number, and so you can support your team without feeling like you're wearing somebody's name and number on your back. That's a great feeling.
What about a Bellamy jersey?
Why? Keep my name out of your mouth.
Ooh.
What's the matter with you?
Don't get
EP.
slapped.
Number 2, baseball jersey. Look, a well-fitting baseball jersey is a great look, man. Especially if you got a chain on. There's nothing in the world that looks better with a chain than a baseball jersey.
Is it the buttons? Is it the buttons that makes it feel like it's actually a shirt?
I don't know. Yeah, it feels
it
a little
feels like
formal,
it's
yeah.
like
I
kinda-
think my new thing is the crop top with the jersey unbuttoned over it.
Yep, that's a great look.
That's my jersey
So
look. But
cute.
I couldn't find. So I have a Cubs button-down Ryan Sandberg jersey, but it has Velcro on it. It's very
Velcro? What are you,
old
12?
school.
On a shirt?
I think it might be like a youth
Ryan
XL or
Sandberg.
something. It's very old, but I tried that on this morning. I tried on my Marlins jerseys. The Marlins sent me a Hawaiian shirt. I tried that on. I just didn't feel
just a
it.
Hawaiian
None of
shirt?
it. It's a Marlins branded Hawaiian shirt.
She's gotten 72 shirts from the Marlins. She's been with the show a year and a half.
That's
2
because
years this month.
they would like to affiliate themselves with her youth and coolness, and the rest of you guys ain't giving it off.
Also got me
I just don't
tickets
give a shit about the
behind home
Marlins.
Jeez.
But you admit that a baseball jersey with a chain is a
You gotta
great...
have the
absolutely.
first button unbuttoned too, so you show a little bit of the chest. You gotta have a good looking chest. So you gotta hit the pecs, hit the bench, get that nice chest, and you have that open shirt.
You can
Fire.
also go with the black T-shirt underneath, and so that it lets a better contrast for the chain as it rests right there. But the number 1, far and away,
A golf
there's
jersey.
There's a huge gap.
So a polo.
Yeah.
The Tiger Woods red, no. Number 1 is soccer. Oh, Don't need no name. Don't need no number. Don't even need to know what team it is. The colors and the sponsor
And
is
the
enough.
collar. They always have a nice collar.
No, right here.
Not like a collared shirt,
Yeah.
but like the literal like
Because
collar.
it's a different kind of texture than the rest of the shirt. Yeah.
What's the one though? What is the one where it's not? Because I feel like at one point it was Argentina, probably like 8 years ago. But now, because like I feel like the blue and white stripes was hot, and now it's like
It
a
was
little
never
played
hot.
out.
Never hot. Always
I mean,
played
not the country, but like the colors. What is it now?
Everything's all played out. No, the number one jersey has to be. It's got to be like either Barcelona. Everyone loves the blue and red because of the stripes, like you said. The other big one, the Paris Saint-Germain ones have been excellent.
I feel like international is better though.
No, I like the club ones because it's all about the sponsor. The sponsor takes it up a notch when you see. Yeah, man,
Okay.
kicks it up a notch when you see that sponsorship logo on there. Internationally, national team. I'm gonna say Brazil, but
Yeah, the yellow is pretty hot, but I feel like it's also played out. That's like
never
like wearing
never played out
a Jordan jersey.
Speaking of sponsors, let's stop talking.
Professional.
Ad break? Was that a toss to an ad break?
This dude is EP of the year.
He out here
Holy
innovating,
shit.
innovating,
fire,
innovating new ad breaks.
Shit.
Now they're gonna pay more attention to the sponsor than they ever have.
Hello, guys. Hello, Cody. It's nice to meet you. I'm just going to let me know when it is that we can start because I'm going to let the man next to you talk to you more than I and we are talking to you. But I will have you know that going back to the days of Gordon Soley, yeah, down here in regional wrestling, I mean, that's even before your time. I don't even know when you were a kid who the announcers.
Before everyone's time, I feel like.
Everyone except Gordon Soley's time.
Yeah.
I am a fan of you and the family name.
Amazing. Gordon Soley's still the standard. Championship Wrestling from Florida. He's still the standard as far as announcers go. Well revered.
I want an understanding to what is happening right now. Mike Ryan is becoming a character. Hollywood beckons. He's in Los Angeles. I don't know why he's sitting next to Cody Rhodes. WrestleMania is this weekend.
It seems like he took a week off to sit next to Cody Rhodes.
And I don't blame him because he's beautiful and he plays the part and he's had wrestling handed down through the family. Mike, why are you with this enormous star hanging out with him? He looks like he smells really good.
He does. I can confirm. I'm here because every time you guys do an interview with a wrestler when I'm not in studio, it goes off the rails. I think the last time DDP threatened to kill you and hung up on the show and said the F word when we were on ESPN, and you're just bad at these, Dan. So I'm just here to make sure everything goes right.
That can't be real. DDP is like the nicest guy. Did he go off the rails on this show?
We will play the sound for you in a second. I can be awkward and clumsy, as Russell Crowe can attest. He's coming up next week, and Jessica and Stugotz have something for me on that because I failed. And when I was done with that interview, my wife said, "You're not used to interviewing big Hollywood stars. You choked." And she was totally, you blew it. And she was totally right.
I was thinking it. I mean, she said it, thankfully.
Yes, but Cody Rhodes, you don't have to do anything. He carries the entertainment. He's had it passed down in the family. Did you even have a choice, Cody, of doing anything other than wrestling?
I really didn't look at anything else. I mean, especially after seeing my dad in the light I got to see him and being backstage around everybody. There was nothing I really wanted to do other than this. My mother, though, would have really, really wanted me to do anything else. This WrestleMania coming up here at SoFi she's sitting right in the front row. And as much as it's about the love and this is my mother, she got me here, it's also me letting her know, haha, I told you so. It's going pretty good, right? Because even to this day, my mom thought I had no skills, no talents, no anything. She was trying to give me military pamphlet after military pamphlet. So this is a big moment of I told you so for my mom.
And why is Mike with you? Mike is a wrestling fan. His dad used to drive around Jimmy Snuka and your dad. He probably drove your dad around. Why is Mike next to you?
And his shirt is also matching my tie. And when he walked in here, his shirt wasn't. I think he went and changed shirts to match my tie.
Just a couple Cuban American nightmares, cutting it up, Dano.
There you go.
Just trying to advance the propaganda. Yeah. Not a lot of people know this because he's got bleached blonde hair, but Cody is Cuban. He's the American Nightmare, but the next time you come down to Miami, you should really play up the Cuban American Nightmare thing. And I'm thinking he's got a famous tattoo on his neck. On the other side of the neck, maybe a pastelito, maybe a croqueta, maybe a cafecito. It's good for branding.
He's my mom, my grandpa, he came over from Cuba, Tampa, Ybor City, my mother, the whole family. There's this connection there. Although years ago, he knows the story. Years ago, I was part of a Spanish Heritage Month poster, and nobody was hip to that. And I was front and center on the poster, which was a big mistake. And people were very mad. So when it's brought up, I'd say I'm very proud of it. I don't know a lot about that heritage only because we moved to Georgia when I was 5 years old. We still do Ropa Vieja. We still do Noche Buena, Picadillo, all this wonderful
Pick a
stuff.
what?
Oh,
Wait a minute. You got to say it better than that. Hold on a second.
It's Dillo. Picadillo.
Picadillo.
You don't want to count Picadillo?
It's Dio.
Picadillo, please.
The way I say
scratching
it,
that
Cody.
card.
Raisins or no raisins?
Picadillo. Does it have raisins or no raisins?
My mom does raisins.
Wow, that's pretty Cuban.
Are we all?
No. That's actually authentic. That's super authentic.
Good for her. Good for
Yeah,
her.
but pretty shocking.
But you're saying that
when
otherwise.
Miami Cubans do raisins in it.
You're saying otherwise you're not very Cuban though, because Tony's eyes went up, his eyebrows went up. He's like, this guy's not really Cuban. Look at him. I mean, he's the American Nightmare. He's the American Dream. He's not really Cuban.
I don't know. I don't know
He's Cuban enough. Why are we shaming this? This is
You
the
can't
new
be Cuban
reality
enough
of
and say
America.
picadillo. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't do it.
You can't find out someone's Cuban and then immediately
Guys,
decide 5 seconds later if they're Cuban.
I can if he
enough.
says picadillo.
Yeah.
Maybe you can.
Guys, I grew up in Georgia, the suburbs of Georgia, Marietta. Let's say my mother is Cuban. So if I get any of it, I get a little bit of it. But I'm on trial here for how Cuban I really am. I apologize to the Dio.
It's weird.
Well, now you see. Now
We're
you see.
trying to advance the cause, but you're not helping.
But now you see how it is that it happened with Diamond Page, Dallas Diamond Page, because let's play that sound here. He's saying he's the nicest man in the world, but he got enraged at me for some reason.
Scotty Steiner, I was just with him up in
Who tried to rip whose eyes out there? Somebody tried to rip somebody's eyes out there.
You can't mess me up, dude.
Did you try to tear out his eyes, or did he try?
Yo, monkey. Who the hell do you think you're talking to?
He tried to tear out your eyes.
Monkey. Who the hell do you think you're talking to? I'm positively Paige. Do you think I'm gonna flame your garbage so you can scream right here? You.
Oh no.
Yeah. You deserved it. You deserved it.
Horrifying. Truly
Ooh.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Keep trying to rep people up, man.
Well, whose eyes was he?
He got into a fight
This is a Scott
backstage.
Steiner story that he was trying to get. Yeah.
It is very rare that you can get DDP to the level of an F-bomb. I mean, he is a beacon of positivity. It's positively Page is how he's known in the circles. So this happening is just, it's a feather in the cap of the show. You were able to take wrestling's nicest guy and get him to drop an F-bomb over a Scott Steiner story, which is amazing. I don't know how he got riled up about it, but he'll be here this weekend, and I get to bring it up. So amazing. Good job to all.
You strike me as maximum professional, and you've really evolved the brand in your family in a way that is super interesting, because these characters are hard to develop new ones. And I'm wondering, have you had a situation backstage with genuine conflict that involves, like, I really don't like this guy. This is not fake tension. This is real.
I almost would say I like less people than I dislike. And in terms of a backstage setting, it's the competition that exists in wrestling, you see that suspension of disbelief on screen. But backstage, it is very, very real in terms of the competition. Who's going to be on top? For example, who's going to headline WrestleMania? So when this year it being Roman Reigns and myself, it doesn't garner a lot of friends. I think Seth Rollins is the closest I've ever had to backstage that turning into a fist fight in front of all our peers and upper management, but it didn't happen. Him and I absolutely can't stand one another. I'd probably try and rip his eyes out and have a situation like DDP and Scott Steiner here. I've had one backstage skirmish. I'm not going to name the guy, but the good thing is I won. When I came back, he was wearing this is early in my career. He was wearing one of my vests. I had these special leather vests I wore as part of my entrance. And he was wearing it and kind of mocking me at the talent viewing position. And as I went walking towards him, I thought I was going to headbutt him, but a headbutt seems pretty violent these days. Right? So then I thought, why don't you just grapple him? I've got a good folk style Greco background. So I got an under, like an over under, and I just swept him to the floor. And then I took my jacket and I looked like a complete jerk in front of everybody because he was probably just having a good time and it was probably funny. But only one fight backstage, and I won that fight.
Forgive me because I remain confused. WrestleMania this weekend, SoFi Stadium. Cody Rhodes is a giant in the industry. His father was a giant in the industry. Mike, I don't understand why you're next to him. I don't understand why you have a kerchief in your pocket while next to him. Are you trying to convey maximum style? I'm next to somebody, a legendary family name, and I deserve to be.
Trying to get him to like me.
Wow.
The pocket square work?
I just want. Yeah, does the pocket square work?
The pocket square is very nice. I'm of the belief, though, if you're gonna go suit coat, you got to go full suit. You got to go full suit. There should be not a lot of guys are wearing ties these days, and I feel like we need to bring it back. The pocket square is very nice. He's got a good style about him. He's got a great timepiece on the wrist. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of respect that's happening here. Plus, we have friends in common.
Oh,
so we're
he's moving.
Cowboy Carl
moving and shaking now. He's moving and shaking.
You
again.
understand it's odd. Like, you don't normally have some random guy sitting next to you when you're doing interviews, right? Like,
it is. I'll be honest. Just not knocking this wonderful show. This is an awkward setup.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he should be out of the screen and you should be in the screen because you're.
But Mike's keeping it on the rails, you know.
I didn't see Good Morning Football do this 20 minutes ago.
Yes. I think Mike. What does he smell like, Mike? What is the cologne? Because he smells like class.
Probably Creed. I'm gonna say Creed Aventus.
I have no clue what it's. I can tell you it's a Louis Vuitton cologne.
There it is.
What it is.
Do I smell nice?
I haven't really got a whiff.
That's a no. That's not a no comment.
He's smelling right now. Hold on.
You know what? He doesn't smell bad. I'd say basic.
Wow.
Ouch. Put it on the poll, please, Juju.
That's what you'd expect.
At LeBatard Show is the name of Mike Ryan's cologne. Basic at LeBatard Show. What did you learn, Cody, to do and not to do from your father?
Well, I made a big effort to wrestle completely different, to look completely different, whereas Dusty was this big, robust, heavy set, curly hair. I've made a lot of efforts in terms of trying to be a old school, muscled up wrestler with diet, training, all that. I think the thing I learned the most to do was my dad was really active genuinely as a good guy, babyface wrestler. He was really active in the community, especially there in Tampa and Ybor with the sheriff's club and the good, girls and boys facilities and everything. He was just very community active, and it was sincere. And a lot of times in entertainment, you see guys doing stuff, they put it on their Instagram, and it's almost performative. Whereas I feel like I share that with him more than any wrestling talent. I don't think I got any of the talent. I think my brother got the talent. I think I got my mom's work ethic, but that generosity and that the wrestling has this large penetration worldwide. If you're able to take that and make someone's day with it and help our communities, and WWE being the absolute best at it, that's the number one thing I got from him in terms of community outreach. And and the work that he did outside of the ring. Number one thing I got not to do, he slapped a guy at Waffle House in front of me one time for calling wrestling fake. And I thought, that's a bit extreme.
It's always the Waffle House.
Yeah, that's a
It's
bit
always Waffle
extreme.
House.
And so that hasn't happened. So yeah, he's got a lot of, back in the day when we lived, the house I grew up in, there's a bunch of framed newspaper articles about different towns he got arrested in. Because the wrestlers really used to like that. That used to be like a notch in your belt. I beat this guy up at this bar, and then they sued me. See, here's the paper. We don't do that. I don't do that. Who knows? I think that's what I learned not to do.
When your mother says she doesn't want you to do that, and this, the scene in WrestleMania this week in SoFi Stadium is going to be totally crazy, and this is an I told you so moment. Did she not want you to do it because wrestling might physically hurt you, or was she worried about the lifestyle's ravages and the traveling being a bad career for her son?
I think she didn't want me to do it more because of the lifestyle. It is a life away from home, and the industry you can't take for granted. WrestleMania 39. This is the main events. 6 years ago, I was on the absolute bottom of the undercard, jerking the curtain, barely making the show. And you can't take it for granted. You have highs and lows in the industry, and those lows can really get to you. And I think she was afraid of that for me. But she's experienced it all with me, from the first 10 years I was with WWE to betting on myself, going out and building the American Nightmare brand, and then WWE wanting it in such a way that they came back and got me. Yeah, I think it was the lifestyle that scared her. And now, again, I say it's like an I told you so moment, but it's also a nice moment that she raised me well, and I did right by what she taught me. So I'm very excited to see her at WrestleMania.
What represents your most emotional moment in wrestling where you got the gratitude swelling in you like I made it?
Two of them in particular. One was before I had come back. We did an independent wrestling show, and we were told that no company outside of WWE could ever sell 10,000 tickets without some sort of machine or infrastructure. Me and my buddies, Matt and Nick Jackson, we did a show called All In, sold out 11,236 tickets in a matter of minutes. And that was the first time that it had ever been done outside of a company for something independent, something driven by the boys. That was a great, great feeling of accomplishment. And then the biggest thing I've ever done in my career is winning the Royal Rumble. Winning the Royal Rumble, punching the ticket to WrestleMania. Everything you see in those moments in an industry that it's what's real and what's not. Everything you see in those moments is very real. Winning the Royal Rumble changes your life. It means you're going to headline an event that's got $20 million of sponsorship wrapped around it. Your face is on Sunset Boulevard. It is the absolute pinnacle of what I've done, and very lucky, very blessed to be in this situation.
Mike, are you promoting anything on the way out? Are you promoting, you love being around WrestleMania? I think that you've conjured a Meadowlark Media work trip just so you can sit next to this man's Louis Vuitton cologne. What are you promoting on the way out here?
Please subscribe to @MichaelRyanRuiz on Twitter. For less than a cup of coffee, just $2.99, you can get the occasional selfie with Brad Williams at the Comedy Store.
If you want to smell like basic, Mike Ryan has for you
Really,
the
he's like a clean cut baby face, and he just healed the shit out of me.
I didn't. It just was the first thing that came to mind. Was basic,
It's actually pronounced basic.
Basic.
Subscribing to things on Twitter right now is like investing in Enron.
See you later, Mike Ryan, and also someone that you can see at WrestleMania this weekend, SoFi Stadium. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time and your efforts.
Thank you guys very much for having me. Thank you.
Go Canes.
Go Cubans.
Oh. Yeah.
Stugotz, I would like your assistance with something because the media is running with the public beef between me and Stephen A. Smith. They are saying again and again from every turn that we are beefing because he came on South Beach Sessions and I told him I hate what he and Skip Bayless had done to sports television. Then he came on vacation.
Made it great.
Came off of vacation. And people are saying he excoriated me on his new podcast, No Mercy.
Do you feel like you're beefing?
No, not at all.
He very carefully said, and I'm not saying this about Dan LeBatard every time before he said something, so he's not saying it about you. Can I just say this?
But once you say something like that like 5 times, I think you are talking
It's about you.
Dan LeBatard. Yeah.
Since you talked about it, it's probably about you.
Can I say this? I'm not comfortable with this. I don't like this position. I don't like having to potentially choose between you and Stephen A. Smith. Like, it's not a comfortable position that you're putting all of us in here, Dan.
I'm not putting you in that position. We're not beefing.
Well, do you guys like each other? Like
very much so.
Well,
are you
is
sure?
it mutual?
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to figure that out because we had kind of like an icy Radio Row interview with him on behalf of Subway, where I believe you won the number 6, whatever the number 6 was in the Subway game, and there was that whole thing. And then,
It's a good sub.
Yeah. Oh, great sub.
Yeah.
And 2 hours cold still holds up.
Oh,
I'll say that.
Delicious.
But then this one, it seems like
It's
you
important
guys.
that you say that.
You
I'm
weren't
glad that you said that.
You weren't particularly friendly with each other in this one either. So it like, I'm
No,
worried
that's not
that
true. If you listen to the whole South Beach sessions, it's fine. It's this one clip. It's the whole thing.
It's long.
It is. It's an hour.
How about South Beach Sessions, though? Nice little comeback.
Yeah.
It was
great.
all over the
Excellent.
internet. All over the internet.
Cougs.
I'm sorry?
It was
I
a
was just saying
Cougs
Cougs.
chant.
Yeah. It's an inside joke. Cougs.
Okay, that's good. Go sit in the penalty box.
Oh, wow.
Bishop
I
Thurgood
appreciate your inside jokes for 6 people. Thank you. Do
Or
the
10.
national show with the rest of us. Or do that show for 6 people.
2 minutes for an inside joke.
Yes,
Huh?
5 minutes.
Wow, a major.
Wow.
Wow.
But it's our obsession with the oog sound, though. Like, the guy's got an oog in his name, so we got to go oog.
Thank you.
Okay.
You go sit with him.
Oh, my God.
No,
We're running out of producers.
The two of you are executive producing the show today. He's doing it surreptitiously as an undercurrent through you, and it's been bad. The two of you have executive produced the show poorly today.
I want to do an experiment. Garrett Cooper. Now, see, we're just obsessed with that sound.
Yeah.
The thing that I wanted to ask the group here, because he's in the content business and I'm in the content business, and the thing that was happening with this story is people are creating a beef between me and Stephen A. Smith is many, many, many people were delighting in the idea, oh, wait, LeBatard, you hate what they've done to sports television? What about you? And my meager defense, and I don't think I have this right, I think it's a blind spot that I lack some self-awareness, is wait a minute, I'm not like that. I could have done a debate show on ESPN. The CEO of that company is now the CEO of our company. I didn't want to do a debate show.
I did.
I think debate sports television is dumb, and I think sports radio has infected everybody. Sports radio used to be the dumbest medium. Now television has taken what sports radio did and turned it into what First Take is. First Take used to be the worst show at ESPN. Now it's one of the most popular, at least in part because the sports radioization of all this stuff has taken over what used to be a journalistic entity.
You had a sports debate show on ESPN that you did from a kitchen where you showed videos of umpires getting hit in balls and animals.
I saw that clip the other day. 4-year anniversary.
It did happen.
But I really think that I've got a blind spot about what is the hypocrisy of, like, wait a minute, you guys think that what I do with sports is the same as what they do with sports, and I think I've got this wrong, or all the people saying this don't actually consume any of what we do, which is also very likely.
It's long.
Yes, agreed.
I mean, Stephen A. on South Beach Sessions let you know that he thought you were a contributor to this. And that was great for South Beach Sessions, that little give and take. And Stephen A. Smith making content of it now on his podcast is the least surprising thing on earth.
And
the
us
beef is
making
gold.
content about that content is the least surprising thing in the world.
Dano.
This is where I can't dispute that I am like.
That's right. In fact, on the next Greg Cody Show podcast, we're going to cover this whole thing. We're going to get into the beef. We're going to delve into it.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it's
Great
gold,
idea.
man. It is gold.
Yeah.
I know you want to deny it, Dan, but weren't you on PTI like all the time?
Making fun of it.
You were the BAM!
while in it, making fun, like not respecting the rules, doing like always mocking that. Like I got in trouble. And, okay,
no, you were, but eventually you had to give a take. Like you had to. Like Tony would give a take, you would have to counter take. Like that's how the game works. You know,
Second take.
You know, mock it a little bit, make fun of it. I really don't want to be here, but then eventually you have to give takes. I
cannot dispute the contention that I have benefited from what it is that those guys have made of sports television. I cannot dispute that PTI was the grandfather. Kornheiser is literally a grandfather. There were some people in here today who looked up at the television at Wilbon and Kornheiser and were like, "Those dudes are still doing it." That's one of the most successful shows in the history of any kind of television. Not just sports television, but I thought I was making fun of it. I thought I'd made clear to everyone who's listening to this show that I existed to mock all of it.
I think that you did. You made a great effort to mock all of it, to make fun of it, but eventually, again, producers telling you, give the take. I mean, you got to give a take,
exactly.
right?
Well, correct. I had to respect those games. That's what it would be. It would be buy or sell. They'd all be 7 games. One would wear
mail time.
One would wear a cop hat. That's right. Like they're all they're all the same.
Sounds
game.
like you're selling.
They're all the same game. That's correct. And they'd always get mad at me because they're like, Dan, you just gotta just sell that these are all the same game.
Yeah.
And then the producer,
life's a sale, Dan.
The producers of that show came to me one time and they said, no, we got a totally different game than all the other games, the cop hat and the costumes and everything else. We got it.
Classic.
We got to appeal to the Latin demographic, Dan. See? Oh, no.
A classic.
I mean, it formed my childhood.
That one was different.
I don't think so. It's the same. We're arguing
Different
about.
game.
No, I'm arguing. It's an argument show with my dad about my strange addiction.
Poppy's always intrigued.
Always. It was infuriating.
Poppy wanted to debate.
It was infuriating. He was always saying, and see to the improv. It was, but I legitimately, when I'm reading the coverage on this, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. These people can't be consuming what I've been doing. Like, what's right there? I genuinely don't know. Is it that they're not consuming the silliness of what we do, or is it that they do indeed think that Highly Questionable and this were an attempt to be First Take? Because that opportunity was available to me. I don't think Bomani and I disagreed on air once in like 7 years.
Oh.
Like, we didn't disagree very much.
Right.
It wasn't an argument show, and I'll tell you why. I would have lost all those arguments to Bomani. He's better at it than anyone I've ever seen. Better than Stephen A. even.
The best ever?
Best I've ever seen.
See?
HQ is honestly ahead of its time, man. Now everybody's doing watching ridiculous videos and putting them out. Like, you guys, look at you.
I'm going to tell you a true story. This is a true story. It's one of my first PTIs, one of the first I did. And they wanted to talk about the Masters or some golf. And I'm like, I don't know anything about golf. Can we lead with the bear falling out of the tree and landing on a trampoline? And it bounced. And they're like, we can't lead with that. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't lead with that? It's a giant bear that lands on a trampoline and bounces off. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah. But it was Masters Week.
Well, it wasn't even Masters. It was the second day of like the Honda Classic or something.
It's a big day.
It was a big tournament.
Actually,
the Honda used to mean something.
That's the day I'm usually there.
The funniest part about it is they gave me all the throwaway days of the summer. So there weren't actually any sports. It's when Tony and Mike disappeared and somebody would get stuck with me and Jay Mariotti.
Oh, God.
HQ would have crushed on TikTok. It would have been huge, man.
We had a lot of good videos, and we would find a lot of videos before other people. We were Rex Chapman's aggregated website, aggregated Twitter account before anybody else. We would find good stuff, and this was ultimately the downfall of Highly Questionable, such that you can say, 8-year run is pretty good.
You left,
Yeah, but we were on ESPN2, and here is the mistake we made before we ended up at ESPN. I want to do nothing but bouncing bears on trampolines, and they're like, Dan, do you know how much people who are going to ESPN2 want sports? And I'm like, yeah, but funny videos. Look at this funny video of this guy getting hit in the balls with a sledgehammer. And they're like, yeah, they don't. Maybe Comedy Central. And maybe ridiculousness. Maybe somewhere else, not on. Do you realize how wrong a fit this is for ESPN2, where the diehards exist to get sports?
The deuce.
So to be clear, though, Stephen A. is the one that made the mockery of sports journalism.
I didn't think I did it like Stephen A. Smith, and I'm not saying that he made a mockery of sports journalism. I am saying that the show that they do birthed a whole lot of copycats that don't do it as well. And furthermore,
Nick Wright's plenty good.
Agreed. He's great.
I was just trying to pick a random
Taking him
person that
out?
is He's one of the people. He does a
He
show.
is, for sure.
It's inspired
But
by
he's
First Take.
acting. Like, this is the thing, the performative aspect of this. I've always thought that the way we're doing it is with a wink. First Take doesn't make me laugh, except when it doesn't intend to. When like, it's not a laugh show. It's
Mad Dog's not trying to be funny.
No, it's an art. I know.
All right, Mike Scherr joins us. He'll give us the stat of the day here in just a couple of minutes. Mike, are you excited? Opening day, the fastest sport in the world is back.
The fastest 2.5 hours in sports is baseball. I am excited. It's very exciting.
It
Who wouldn't be
is.
excited about opening day? Only a real sourpuss
You
would
can
be excited about
you-
opening day.
You can check out all his baseball thoughts and otherwise. You guys doing any emergency podcasting on the podcast? Billy and Jabba Chamberlain and Stugotz want to do a God Bless Football. I think Billy said so that we can have a baseball, God Bless Baseball podcast, so that we can have a podcast. I believe this is a direct quote around here. Baseball podcast that people listen to.
Ouch.
Fair.
We're going to be opening
good
up
luck.
football cards.
Yeah. We are going to do a season preview every year. We run through every team and give you the best possible information about how they're going to do and what their final record is going to be and who's going to make the playoffs. It's based on nothing but our guts in that moment. Zero research, zero preparation. And yet we claim it's 99% accurate every year. So you can look forward to that. I don't know when we're doing that, but it should be this week.
Sounds awesome. What do you have on the Twinkies? Anything?
Just in general?
Yeah, I mean,
They got Correa back.
All
They're
right.
gonna be fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be fine. I like that.
I think Jabba Chamberlain and Billy can do better than that. What do you think of the
I don't know.
Twinkies? Maybe
I've
not.
I've heard them talk on podcasts before. I'm not sure they got anything better.
Whoa.
Wow.
He's got a point.
Thanks for listening.
Whoa. The podcast, very popular despite Billy's undermining of the podcast. He does it with Joe Posnanski, and they know a ton about baseball. Let's get to the stat of the day here. We've missed you yesterday. Anything to report? I told the audience very little information because these are company secrets, but I told them that you were sitting out yesterday. I betrayed you a little bit, I guess, telling people that you were sitting out because you were protesting the hiring of David Sampson, and I guess nothing, and also nothing personal. His podcast.
I don't want to make a big deal out of this. It was something I felt like I should do. It was just I'm a labor guy. I side with labor. Sampson is a management guy. He sides with management, and I just thought, for one day, I would hold back my silly nonsense that I do here on the show as like a small little hey, this is how I feel about this. No big deal. I'm just gonna hold out for one day, and then we can all move on and become friends again. That's all.
A bit of a hunger strike. Many people around here have tried to argue with David Sampson if we do indeed want to get an argument show off the ground. Billy, I think, has done it better and less emotionally than anybody. I think Ariel Helwani and an assortment of others have tried to argue with the lawyer Sampson, and I think Billy's the only one who's done it particularly well. But I also think, Mike, sure that you want into that arena, correct? You want a public...
No, I don't. I'm not trying to pick a fight. I really am not. I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm not trying to argue. I just thought for one day I'll just do send a little message to the higher ups at Meadowlark. It's over. We can move on. Everything's back to normal.
But you don't want to argue with David Sampson?
No, I have no interest in arguing with him or picking a fight with him or antagonizing him at all.
Because I thought that you did. I mean, you said on the air that you wanted to argue with him labor versus management because he argues.
I know, but I know how this goes. He's got all these pro management arguments down to a science, and he deflects and he dissembles and he hides and he like dodges and he weaves and everything. And then I get flustered. I'll get flustered and start becoming emotional. And he'll go like, well, that's actually not the case. According to this thing and that thing and this thing and that
He's
thing.
a master of the game. I mean, that's how you
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
Wow. So as a result, I don't want to pick a fight with him. I really don't. I don't want that smoke. I don't want any of that noise. I just made a little silent protest, and now I'd like to just move on.
Wow, sounds like you're scared, man.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like you're running from David Sampson, even though you have the better argument. You're on the side of the people.
And you're taller.
You know what? It's like, don't feed the trolls is the way I look at it. Like it's hard to win an argument against a troll, and to a large extent, he's a shill for management, a shill for ownership, and I don't particularly want to fight with him.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Is it hard to win an argument with a troll? Go ahead and play the stat of the day music, please.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
The stat of the day is brought to you by Venmo. Your money, your move.
Folks, according to Georgia State University's Sports and Urban Policy Institute, the atrocity currently known as Lone Depot Park was 80% paid for, with $488 million in bonds issued from Miami-Dade County and the city of Miami. The interest on those bonds through the year 2049 will bring the total cost to the city and county to $2.6 billion. $2.6 billion would pay for the entire contracts of Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge, Manny Machado, Francisco Lindor, Fernando Tatis Jr.,
good team,
Bryce Harper, and Ronald Acuna Jr. That's your stat of the day, brought to you by Venmo.
Not Stanton.
That
Who would want Stanton?
That
It's
is
a terrible contract.
That is David Sampson, who stole all that money from the county of Miami.
Oh, was it? I'm sorry. Was Sampson running the team at the time? I had totally forgotten that. I just, that was not yeah, that's funny. Funny coincidence. We were just talking about him.
Yeah, it'd be a good argument between you and he.
Is this David's first official maiden voyage as an employee of Meadowlark Media?
Our announcement, our rollout was not very good. We did David Sampson a disservice here because he's been wanting to be aboard for a long time, and it came with a lot of booing, and it was unpopular, and his entrance was shitty. Nothing personal. Has it even been put on the big feed yet so that he can get that giant numbers jump on? But we got to put that on the feed for him because he's now a Meadowlark employee, and it's been really unpopular because I've said I need business help. I need help with our business. And so Sampson is now signed up. Huge betrayal by me to the South Florida public because I've signed up with this snake who bilked the county for stadium dollars, and so nobody likes him around here. Nobody around here likes him. Nobody likes the hire. Nobody's happy, and now I've got to introduce him that way.
We've only just begun. By the way, everything you said is so wrong on so many levels. Number one, I'm not an employee. Number two, I'm not even sure anything's signed yet. Number three, it's called an independent contractor. Number four, big feed. Big feed. No. There was some promotion that you did, which was funny. I think you must have fired the social media guy because it was promoted, or the person, it was promoted once and then never again in the past 4 days.
Juju,
welcome to Meadowlark.
No, wait a minute. Welcome to Meadowlark. Thank you. Not very helpful at all.
Can I grab the steering wheel for a second? Look, I love all the back and forth of this drama with David Sampson. Can we talk some bleeping baseball today? It's opening day. We're bringing an Adnan on. We got David Sampson. I don't want to talk about drama and behind-the-scenes stuff. Let's talk some hardball.
Why, Jeremy, Roy, why are you laughing back there?
This is something completely separate.
Completely unrelated.
Yeah.
I'm distracting Roy from doing the
All right,
actual
both
show. You
of
could send me to the penalty box.
Both of you, the fuck to the ocean. I'm doing a show here.
Dan, it's raining.
The both of you.
Dan, it's raining. Hold on.
Here in the rain. Both of you, right past the penalty box into the rain. Both of you. How are you responsible?
It's raining.
Roy, I'm doing a show. I'm doing a show. Everyone's competing for executive producer. This guy wants to talk baseball because we got two experts here. They only want to talk movies, and I'm afraid Adnan, teammate guy, Roy, out of here.
I had a phone show.
Out of here.
It's my fault. It's
Outta
raining.
here.
It's raining.
Somebody film him in the rain. Out of
Is it
here.
too late to change my mind?
I'm not Adnan. You're a consummate teammate. Everyone loves you. You love everyone. I have been wanting to get you two together to talk movies forever because I think both of you have such funny viewpoints, different viewpoints, informed viewpoints, and I think you'd hate each other, and I think it'd be great. And why hasn't it happened?
Well, Dan, you're getting your wish now. On opening day, David and I clearly acquiescing to you and just bowing down to your wishes. As you said, I like to be a great teammate and a consummate professional. I want to welcome David to the Metal Arc family, even though, as he said, he's not a member of the family. He's an independent contractor. He'll be like a third cousin. That's okay. I would like to point out for the record, David has consistently belittled and denigrated my film opinions, yet somehow he is aboard the pirate ship. So clearly that shows where my standing in the company is, but I will take it not personally because it is nothing personal, and I adhere to the wishes of the Metal Arc family, and I want to be a great teammate. So David, welcome aboard. It's all water on the bridge, all the nonsense and crap you slung my way. Hey, man, great to see you.
Okay, that was 48 seconds. Under my contract, I now get a 54-second spot right now. So you tell me when I can go.
All right, go ahead.
Because I clearly get to go more than Adnan.
Look, oh no, don't you don't? Are you paid more than Adnan? Because you don't have the movie credentials around here that he does. We're paying We're paying Adnan for movies. He was at the Oscars. You were not at the Oscars. And I got another problem on my hands because then you got those dopes at Cinephobe. They want in on the conversation.
What's Cinephobe?
They want to be doing movies around here as well.
Well, Tony, I'm glad you asked. Cinephobe is the podcast where Zach Harper and I watch movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes and try to ascertain whether or not they were accurately rated, or maybe they didn't get a fair shake. That's Cinephobe. It's produced by Anthony Mays, and it's wherever you get podcasts. This week, we have the 1992 film Encino Man, starring Oscar winner Brendan Fraser and Oscar winner Keelan Kwan.
Okay, these are not the movies. You have to understand something. This is a different podcast. It's in the gutter. If you want to listen to Cinephobe, that's fine. That's a mean over there. Zach Harper wants in our world. He's not allowed in our world yet. He's complaining. He's criticizing us. Adnan and David are in the world, and they have different movie opinions. And Adnan, while being a good teammate, do I have this right? Because nobody wins an argument against David because David's a troll, and you can't win arguments against a troll.
Don't feed him.
Do I have this right that you
Not
don't?
a troll.
I'm
the size of a troll, but I'm not a troll.
That you don't, but you
Hey,
don't.
a little self-deprecation goes a long way. Good job, David.
But
Go ahead, dude.
I just want it's an honest question. Do you like David?
That feels like that's a loaded question, Dan. I mean, can you be a little more specific? Like, on what level? Like,
Let's start with this. Would you have dinner with me?
Is it just you and me?
This is quite a game. Who would have dinner with David
Oh,
Sampson?
my God.
If it's you and me and Dan, I would do it. If it's just you and me, I'm not sure. You know what? I'd be more inclined to go to a movie with you than have dinner with you. So I'm like, you know what? We can sit quietly. We both love movies. I would like, Sampson, let's go see a movie together. That I would sign me up for. Yeah.
We go to a place where they serve food at the movie, but it has to be eaten during the movie.
Correct. That's my qualification. We'll have dinner together while a movie is on. We're multitasking.
All right. So this
Will
is.
you let me stand on a platform if we're on the red carpet together, so when we're on air, it doesn't look like I am with Skipper.
All right, this is why there's some bullshit going on in the company. So you get all these egos together, and they all want to do movies, and like, who the fuck wants the movie opinions of Adnan Virk and David Sampson, and why? They're baseball guys, but they love the movies, and they're good podcasts. We haven't even mentioned the other one. We haven't even mentioned Adnan's. Chris Cody, executive producer, isn't doing any self-promotion.
Cinephile this week. If you're a big Succession fan, we're doing a deep dive on Succession this week.
Such a
Adnan
good
brings
show.
it
Such a
every
good show.
week. Adnan, like, you could say whatever you want about Adnan. He is as knowledgeable when it comes to movies as anyone I've ever met. That's my man right there. Fist bump, Adnan, through the computer.
Cody, love you, buddy. Appreciate you. I'm trying to get Cody Astros tickets for tomorrow, so I appreciate that.
Oh, wow, jeez. That was off air.
We could probably do 50 minutes on Succession. I think it might be rivaling here best television show ever made. But these guys have opinions, both of them. Let's start here because I do believe they're very good on the subject of movies, but I don't think they're going to agree very much.
Wait, we're not talking baseball?
No. No, I don't want to.
What is going on right now?
I want to sell the movie podcast.
I'd like to put my name in the ring. Excuse me one second, Adnan. Let me start with this. You have dry cleaning in your picture. So when we're trying to do a show,
we're an hour away from MLB Tonight, me and Harold Reynolds. I'm in the office right now. It's not my dry cleaning, if that makes it any better. But
Just
yes, your
move it.
backdrop is okay, fair enough. That's an excellent adjustment. I'm always willing to adjust. Good teammate. All right.
The audience, David, the audience cannot see this, okay? So you are now telling people this is not good. Why are you bossing Adnan around? And this is a big day for Adnan.
Adnan just got up and moved.
You don't
He's
know
moving
why
the dry
is he
cleaning.
moving his
I
stuff?
see it.
Hey, listen to me. This is a big day for Adnan. It's opening goddamn day, and he's at the center of Major League Baseball's epicenter.
He's got a new show with Harold Reynolds, The Six.
Yes, and he's wasting his time with us, and so that David can make visual jokes on audio. But yes, why'd you move your dry cleaning for him?
I'm here to placate, Dan. I'm here to be a good teammate.
teammate.
Okay, we got to start fresh. I made it clear I don't want to hang out with Sampson, but I'm here. I'm stuck under mental approval. I have to listen to his terrible movie opinions. The least I can do is move the dry cleaning.
All right.
I have to placate before I argue with him.
Okay, fine. So let's do this. David, let's do your top 5 movies of all time. Let's start with something easy. Top 5 movies of all time for people who really like film. These are very considered lists. So let's do this. Number 5.
They're my top 5.
Yes, your top 5 movies of all time, not Adnan's. I'm guessing he's got a different top 5. What kind of fucking question was that?
Lost in Translation.
The sound.
Wait, is he asking a clarification?
Movie of all time.
Or is it actually
No,
the
that
movie
was
he's
funny.
referencing?
No, that's funny what he just did there. Yes, Lost in Translation, number 5. Adnan, before we get to... give me the fanfare.
Lost in translation. I mean, I thought he was making a joke that he was lost in translation as for his top 5 all time. That can't possibly be his 5th favorite movie of all time. That movie starts out with a shot of Scarlett Johansson's butt for like the opening credits.
Wow.
And then from there, I mean,
Got to be number 1 now.
it's not nearly as tawdry as one would have hoped for. Let's say that. Bill Murray's made about 100 better movies than Lost in Translation. David, it's a good movie. The critics liked it. I get it. Sofia Coppola, different style, May, December romance, set in Japan, fish in the water. But there's nobody on this show right now saying to themselves, man, Lost in Translation is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Nobody's saying that except for you.
That's okay. And the reason I'm saying it is that the character development and the relationship between Scarlett Johansson and Bill Murray is not a May-December romance. That's not what the movie's about. So that's not surprising that it's not in your top 5. It's about the difference between an emotional affair and a physical affair and what happens when the connectivity gets measured one against the other. And one of the best scenes of any movie is when her feelings are hurt when he has a physical affair with the piano player at the top floor of the Park Hyatt in Tokyo. And the fact that Sofia Coppola put that movie together the way she did makes it a must-watch for anyone. And for me, I have watched it and dreamed about that movie more than almost any other movie I've watched.
Maybe it's because you've dreamt about having an affair the way Bill Murray dreams about having an affair with a younger woman.
Okay.
Wow.
I was going to say number 4, but Me Too.
What?
Number 2. Me Too. Did you see what it is that Chris Cody did in the background?
This is an audio show. I can't see it.
Off the rails. This segment is officially off the rails.
Adnan.
I still can't find this opening scene, by the way.
That's what you're looking for on the internet?
Searching feverishly.
That's the next movie on Cinephobe. Amin and the fellas are going to do Lost in Translation.
David, number 4.
Number 4 is The Fisher King, a movie with Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges, who is a name that is in existence in my top 5 more than once. And that's a movie about a celebrity who gets caught up with Amanda Plummer and Robin Williams. It talks about mental health. It talks about, it's really like finding the Holy Grail, if you will. One of the more meaningful Terry Gilliam movies, underrated. People don't see it, and they should. and I find it to be very rewatchable, and I learn something new every time I watch The Fisher King.
I'd love to crush David on this, but he's right. The Fisher King is fantastic. Let's sing together, David. I like New York in June. How about you?
Michael
I
Jeter.
like a Gershwin tune.
How
it's
about
great.
you?
Yes,
He's
right.
the world's
Jeter,
most
Adnan,
terrible
can you believe
duet.
it?
There it was. You just heard it. David, you got to let go. Adnan wanted to sing with you, David, and you didn't know the lyrics.
I'm glad.
Okay.
Mercedes Rule, fantastic. Won an Oscar, Best Supporting Actress. Excellent performances with Bridges, playing a Howard Stern type jock. Robin Williams, ferociously funny. I'm with David, underrated, and just a movie that throws everything in the kitchen sink. It's
Okay,
wild,
no,
weird, good stuff. from
But
Gillian.
not top five. Not top five. for
No,
you.
not top five is
no,
outrageous. Are you kidding? No, I should say without going. Top five is absurdity. It's not even the top 50, but it's a great movie.
Okay, well, hold on. So I want to just find the places of disagreement. It's the only thing I want to find. So that was no good. Number 3.
The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I want to be Benjamin Button. I want to age backwards. And the most powerful moment of any movie I've ever seen is when Kate Blanchett, one of the greatest actresses of our time, and Brad Pitt, one of the greatest actors of our time, they meet in the middle and they actually acknowledge that moment as he's getting younger and she's getting older, and they discuss and relish in that moment. That impacted me for years and every day since, as I try. This is all about me and having connections and trying to find connections. And the connection between those two characters in this movie is the greatest connection I've seen on screen.
David, how long is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button?
7 days.
2 hours, 29 minutes, let's say.
Yeah, 2 hours, 29 minutes too long is the correct answer.
Oh, my God. God.
Oh, my
God.
Damn.
Oh,
David,
my
there's
God.
no way you're telling me that's a rewatch movie. I saw it once. I said, okay, it's artful. I appreciate what it's aiming for. As you mentioned, themes of rumination and age versus youth. But there's no way you can tell me on a Thursday night, you say to yourself, you know what? Let's get the boys together. Let's watch The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. There's no way you could pay me up to watch that movie again. Come on.
Well, first of all, I don't get the boys together to do anything. I want to watch movies that make me feel. I'm looking to feel. I'm trying to find the wires inside me.
No, listen to me. All right, no, David, let me cut you off because we're out of time here. But I want to find other places where you guys want to headbutt each other. We're going to come back in a second. But yes, David is made of wires. He does not know how to make human connections. And so the films move him, and they reach into the wiring, and they touch a heart he did not know he had. And he might get emotional, and that's why his list is so terrible. We'll come back after this. I mean, how is this list looking to you? This is not what you do on Cinephobe. These are all very different podcasts, incidentally. David Sampson pollutes nothing personal with his movie opinions that no one wants there. They want his business opinions, and he insists on talking movies there because he doesn't have any room to talk movies. He's wanted to talk movies over here. Adnan won't let him. Amin won't let him. Chris Cody won't let him. Zach Harper won't let him. Anthony Mays won't let him. He doesn't have anywhere where he can talk movies.
Here, he has this show.
Well, yes, but with reluctant people. Nobody wants to work with him in the other room. Adnan doesn't want to be here. He doesn't have an ally in the company except me who says, please help our business.
I'm his ally.
Who's happy that David Sampson is here?
Not about movies, though, but I'm his ally when it comes to
Give me
sports
somebody
business.
at the company that someone has gone around and you're like, isn't it great that we added Sampson to Meadowlark Media?
Yes.
They let me join the Slack, and I have not had anyone reach out to me yet.
Wow. You're on the Slack, huh? Wow.
Wait a minute.
Let David on Slack.
David, so we onboard you as a company. We don't announce
you didn't even do that. You didn't even do that. You made me do. By the way, Meadowlark has the #1 security of any company. It's like you guys are ESPN or something, or CBS. There's 59 things to authenticate. Like, that's the best of your business because people want to get in your Slack. So I have 15 passwords I have to keep track of. They do an I thing. So I finally get onto Slack and I see my name. Everyone is having these conversations, and I try to enter into them, and no one frickin' responds. That's fine. That's fine.
I don't know why Amin has shaken. Why is Amin playing a harmonica? This is the desperate cry for attention that he wants.
Blues. He's singing the blues about like
he
Metal Arc.
wants
Nobody loves
his
me.
movies to get attention because he's got a podcast at Metal Arc 2. It's very popular. Quiet as it's kept. You have better ratings than Sampson and Adnan with your crappy movie collection of turds.
I think our audience likes crap. I mean, they listen to us the most. I said it as a compliment. They like, the wacky
Yeah, but
stuff.
this is so.
Hold on, Chris. Do you want to maybe reconsider that statement? Can I put my business hat on for a second? It's not crap. It's entertainment. What we do. Respect the audience. Respect my movie list, Adnan.
I want to hear number
By the way,
2.
the
Okay, I'm
ratings,
still hung
Dan,
up on.
you
I'm
wanna
still
talk
hung up on.
ratings?
I'm still hung up on the Curious Case of Benjamin. But if I may, Dan, I'd love to hear David's number 2 and number 1 films of all time.
Number 2, Grand Canyon. I can't. If you're laughing at me, I'm going to be so pissed off at you right now. If this is not in your top 5, your list is a joke.
Grand
Lawrence
Canyon?
Fishburne, Danny Glover, Kevin Kline, Mary McDonnell. Is this sounding familiar to you in any way? Mary Louise Parker, Steve Martin. Do I need to go on?
Rob comic.
This has got one of the most ridiculous scenes ever when his car breaks down and then Danny Glover helps him out. I mean, have you seen this movie? It is so offensive.
The synopsis.
In terms of race relations. Like,
I'm
Kevin
sure that your
Kline,
top
this
5
rich
is
white
littered
guy,
with, like,
has this
Godfather.
social awakening. Like,
Yeah.
this is the Grand Canyon. You're kidding, right?
Synopsis. A diverse group of characters are thrown together through chance encounters while coping with urban chaos in LA. The main focus is the growing
laughable movie, David.
The main focus is the growing
I liked
friendship
it.
between an
Lawrence
immigration
Fishburne,
lawyer, Kevin
30
Kline,
years
and a
later,
tow truck
perfectly
driver,
update.
Danny Glover, who meet when Kline's car breaks down in a crime-ridden neighborhood. When Kevin Kline breaks down in the hood, only Danny Glover can save him, and an unlikely friendship starts to flourish.
It's absurdity. There's nothing realistic about that movie.
Your blind spot here is as large as mine in other areas. And I can tell you, as someone who's trying to figure out his own blind spots, the first thing is recognition. And
David,
for
this
you, like, I haven't heard your top 5, but my guess is it's littered with like Godfather type movies because that's on everybody's list of top 5s. If you
Because
want
it's one of the greatest movies of all
top 5
time.
list
What are you
that no one
talking
cares about and dare to be different to get a bigger audience, fine. I'm giving you my real top 5, not because what I think people want to hear. These are the movies that mean something to me. You want to yuck on it, fine. You want to not get it, fine. Grand Canyon is one of the best scripts ever put into the silver screen.
I thought we were talking about Casablanca. That would be one of the greatest scripts of all time, not Grand Canyon. But again, I appreciate you're not pandering. You're being true to yourself. But the list is uninspiring, to say the least. what the hell's number 1? What the hell's number 1?
You with my top 5, Adnan?
Wait. Samson, it's your top 5, and that's fine. But I got to be honest with you. Adnan Virk, a fundamentally decent human being, but him saying to you to your face that your list is what'd you say? Uninspired?
Uninspiring, to say the least.
That is cruelty from Adnan Virk. Like, that's as indecent a thing as that professional broadcaster will say to another human being in public. That is because Adnan, your television personality, very likable.
I appreciate it.
No, it's hugely likable, but that's the greatest truth you've ever told. Like, you said to his face, shit list.
Shist.
I don't want to put words in my. I don't want you to put words in my mouth. Yes, you basically articulated how I feel about his list.
And,
yes.
and just so you know that I care zero that you are telling me that my list is bad because I spend hours, and I don't mean like 10, hundreds of hours during the course of my life, including every year. Whenever I see a movie, I decide where it's going to go.
No, I know. Listen, you pat yourself on the back. You make this top 100 list that nobody cares about. Like you like spend hours like, oh, I've readjusted it. What's number 78 today? Nobody cares. Not one person in your sphere is like, hey, David, what's 87? Is that everything ever all at once? Have you like why are you doing this?
All of the followers and all the people who listen to Nothing Personal, none of whom are bought or paid for. It's amazing the number of people who actually want access to the top 100 list, the picks of the day, the movie reviews, because they want to know what I think. But go ahead, continue in your bubble and say that Cinephile and Cinephobe and all the other podcasts and all the other ones that nothing personal is shit. That's fine. Way to pump up your new product, Dan. That's really
David, it's not a bubble. It's reality. I want to hear number one.
No. You know what?
No,
I'll tell you why I'm not giving you number one.
No.
You know why? Because I have to fucking go. Because I'm doing a show with John Skipper, who's the actual boss, where we're going to talk about sports business, and he's got a window that opens in 2 minutes. And
No, David, come on. I got to hear number one. Come on.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. I take it back.
Dan, this has really been a slice of heaven.
Okay, this has been a terrible start to the relationship.
Yo!
Oh, no, he's gone.
He broke Sampson.
He
No,
left.
dude, we've had a lot of people go at Sampson.
He left emotionally.
Look, but that's impressive what Adnan just did.
Nothing
Most
personal,
people go at David, and he always has this look of, I don't care what you're saying. He got emotional there. That was personal. Good job, Adnan. Yes. Oh, man, that was great.
Grant Canyon is what broke David Sampson. If only we'd known all along. Some maudlin, ridiculous movie from 30 years ago with Danny Glover. That was going to break David Sampson.
It's unbelievable.
I mean,
Sampson had been undefeated. He got everyone else emotional. Adnan Virk crushed his Grand Canyon.
Oh, I'm so proud right now. I love that. Check out Cinephile.
Also, like, that's a ballsy take by David Sampson that Grand Canyon is the second best movie of all time.
Okay, listen to me.
Oh, my God.
Just listen to me. All of you competing around
Greater
here.
than The
Adnan,
Godfather.
you've got a very important job you're running. Thank you. I'm sorry we wasted your time with this nonsense. I know you have to get in there and just celebrate baseball today. You're at the center of it, being maximum broadcaster guy.
I appreciate it, Dan. Opening day is here. I just ran into Mad Dog Russo, who's a huge fan of your show, particularly Stugotz, I might add. And trust me, this was not a waste of my time. This was a great laugh riot for me hearing Sampson's top five. I cannot wait to hear his number one. God
Okay,
bless.
all right. We'll put you together later and figure out. We'll reveal the number one to you. We'll unveil it to the audience. Can't wait. What could possibly be worse than Grand Canyon?
Move that dry cleaning back, by the way.
Let it ride.
See you later.
Awesome. Thanks, boys.